All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Indianapolis Colts. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Oh, he bowls over it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. A gain of 3, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. A first carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it, because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Here's Newton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, the game the underneath stuff, you got to go and make the tackle right away.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll go on the ground. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And the Colts getting ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Newton now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Newton. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, it's Hines, and he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And Aguayo's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's Pirine. He'll be dropped at the 30. With a shifty move, got him a couple extra on the play. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Now Pirine. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. 20. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. Aguayo able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They're going to look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now a carry for Pirine. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Solomon Thomas in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Here's Hines. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a toss play. It's Hines. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. And what is going on here? I've got 3rd down. Screen shows 3rd down, but they've got the punt team out there. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. And he fends him off. Being chased out left. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. They'll run it here with Pirine. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy. And
there he baited him right into the interception. Now it's Hines. To the end zone, touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point, good by Aguayo. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds an opening past the 40. Throw left side complete. That's Francis. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw, Newton. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now a handoff for Dixon. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Hines on a toss play. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watch it now, Barney. Set. Boom.
They'll drop the throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will shave one more off this lead. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And the Ravens have opened it up a bit, leading by a couple of scores. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Newton on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Back to the air. Newton on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete to Scott. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Colts on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Newton. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out come the Bucs now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Watching that, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Francis. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And they'll run it here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Ebron caught left side. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On the give, this is Dixon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. The shotgun snap for Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Scott. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They run again with Hines. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Newton. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Brashad Perriman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. Aguayo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7th. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they try the right side here. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Bucs on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he connects with Ebron. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Newton now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff looking right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Newton. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Dixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. They run with Hines. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Colts on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Dixon. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.